In today's Community Focus, it is the end of the legislative session, but veto power lies with this man, Governor Dan McKee. Thanks so much for being here.
Well, Kim, thanks for the invitation.
So I'll start broadly. Any pieces of legislation that have either made their way to your desk or might be making their way to your desk that you're planning to veto?
Well, none that I can say right now, but every time that our staff makes sure that I get updated on the impact of any legislation, and we go over it thoroughly. So we'll keep an open mind on anything that comes to our desk.
All right, I have a couple of specific pieces of legislation I want to ask you about. Sophia Szabo just did a report from the State House about the so-called assault weapons ban that just passed a Senate committee today. Now, the Senate bill would allow possession of these so-called assault-style weapons, although it would ban their sale here in Rhode Island. Are you on board with that version of the bill?
Well, let's see what they got to agree. House and Senate have to agree,
Sure.
right? So let's see what if they do agree on anything. But I think progress is being made. There's no secret that I think that it's a good idea to have a piece of legislation like this. It creates higher levels of safety in the state, in my opinion, and that's shared by many people. So whether it gets to my desk this year or not, I think that what it is, you see a House making a historically passing a bill, you know, through their chambers. And now you've got the Senate looks as though that they're going to entertain some form of an assault weapon strategy. So progress is being made, and if it doesn't get to my desk this year, I think that you're going to take it up again next year.
Reforms to payday lending appear to be poised to pass this year. You sent a letter supporting this to the Senate. Are you encouraged by this progress?
Well, yes, I think that it's really something that we need to do, protect the consumers against really high interest type of loans. Basically, that's what it is. So I think that is a good thing to be doing, and hopefully something comes to my desk that addresses the issue.
The bill to increase the tax levy in Providence, will you sign it or veto it if it comes to your desk? Well,
it depends on the timing, but as a former mayor, I do know that bills need to go out on time. So for instance, Little Compton had a bill that was in front of me to exceed the cap. Got a letter from them saying, look, we have a finance meeting. There's urgency to sign it. Normally, I don't sign local bills like that, but it appears as though I'll be signing the Providence bill if I get a request from the mayor. I've talked to him about why it's important to get the tax bills out on time, and they got some more steps to take before they actually can do that.
And last legislative question for you, the bill to ban smoking at Bally's Casino. Will you sign it?
Yeah, I've always been on board on that. I think that the health issue overrides any other issue, and I've talked to Bally's leadership about this a few years back.
I want to ask you about Hasbro. We had heard from the toy maker that they'd have a decision on their headquarters by the summer. It's mid-June. Have you gotten any response from them to the letter that you sent them, or have any additional conversation?
No response, and the letter basically indicated, look, we put assets on the table that that we want to hold on that, but other opportunities we're talking about as well, and the assets that we put on the table are limited. So we'll see what Hasbro does. It appears as though the tariffs are really impacting them significantly. They just announced another layoff on a company-wide.
Right.
And they've also put out the fact that the tariffs could cost them somewhere between $100 million and $300 million, depending on where the tariffs land. So I think that they got issues they got to deal with, Kim, before they make a decision on the move.
Today, you awarded $6.7 million in grants to primary care physicians. What's the goal of all this money?
Yeah, so that's a really important thing. With Anchor closing its doors, 25,000 people looking for their primary care docs, we put in a good plan, and it's been responded really well. So we're going to provide about $6.5 million out to doctors and healthcare facilities. 85 different offices will respond by bringing more patients on, or actually bringing some new primary care doctors into their mix.
The other big passion project of yours is, of course, Learning 365 all around the year. Most kids are out on summer break or are about to be out on summer vacation. You've invested more than $80 million in these community learning centers across 18 different communities. How do these play a role in summer learning?
Yeah, so it's a big way that municipal leaders are going to be empowered to partnering with all their partners in their community. I was in East Greenwich last week at a groundbreak in Coventry yesterday with a big facility that's on the annex for the town hall. What's going to happen there, Kim, is that people are going to get engaged, parents are going to get engaged, and those learning centers are going to do three things. One is help with learning. The other one is help with earnings, so there'll be a lot of job fair issues and a lot of job training at these facilities. And then the third one is help. So those are 3 components of that, but our Learn 365 plan is growing, and I'm very pleased about that.
All right, Governor Dan McKee, unfortunately we are out of time, but
Okay.
thanks so much for being here.
Okay, thank you, Kim.